peak week day 1. Actually, I think day 1 would have been Saturday, but we're just going to say that. Today's Monday. I'm going to take you through the rest of my day. Starting a little late. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I just finished some cardio schmardio right here on my treadmill. But I'm going to take you through some stuff today and show you a little bit about what peak week looks like. So my show is this Saturday, which is in 5 days. So today, don't zoom in too close because I haven't waxed my mustache. It's not very sexy. Today I have to drink 2 gallons plus of water, and I have about a half a gallon left. And it's pretty fun living on the toilet, let me tell you. But yeah, so just finished some cardio, and I did legs today, probably my last heavy leg day, for multiple reasons. When you're about to not diet down, but deplete for show, you don't want to be too sore because posing takes a lot out of you when you're on stage. All the flexing and the tightening and constricting. So you don't want to cramp on stage, very important. And also, if your muscles are taxed too ferociously, then it is a lot harder to see the separations in your muscle. So you don't want to break down too much muscle tissue. There's honestly there's nothing going to be really happening in terms of muscle growth this week. So it's more of just getting some pump, getting some blood flow to the muscles, burning, keeping my metabolism going, burning some extra calories and whatnot. And honestly, this prep has been really easy-ish. It's been harder than my last prep. Definitely dieting too long. Won't do that ever again. But I was feeling so good with my last prep. I'm like, hey, why not do another show? Let's diet for another 10 weeks. Bad idea. So won't be doing that again. So I'm going to be taking a nice little break, and maybe I'll do a vlog from fit to fat, because I'm looking forward to gaining some 10 pounds of fat on my body, because it's right now sitting at about 5% body fat the last time I was checked, and that's pretty low, too low for women to be walking around naturally. Lots of brain fog. I have all my levels checked by a doctor, making sure everything's good and I'm, healthy for what I'm doing. And one of my hormones, pregnenolone, I think it's called, is low, which attributes to brain fog, which makes perfect sense right now, y'all. To-do lists are everywhere up in my house. I am in my home gym right now, which I affectionately call the Freddy Krueger gym, or the Freddy gym. For those of you that know who Freddy Krueger is, he's quite the scary villain in some horror flicks for those youngins that may be watching and aren't familiar. Friday the 13th. And it's pretty creepy in here. There's black widows, that squat rack back there that you can see. There's a dead mouse kind of hanging out over there that is stuck in a hole, and I refuse to touch it because that's disgusting. Lots of dust, cobwebs, beetles. One day I was doing hip thrusters, and a bunch of baby mice fell out from the wall. Like, no joke. This is disgusting. But hey, I just get it done. No judgment. I just get in here, crank the music up, and get shit done. So, all right, that is the intro to this day's video. Coming up, you get to see maybe some fun things. Not really. I don't know. I feel like my life's pretty boring, but some people want to know all the shit that goes on for figure prep. So, yes, today I trained legs. Day 1, Monday of peak week, drinking 2 gallons of water. I'll show you my super fancy, high-tech spreadsheet that I calculated for myself personally on how I was going to do my peak week. Okay. We're in my kitchen. And I'm going to show you the details of peak week. Okay, peak week water load details. This is my fancy spreadsheet. It's called the pencil and paper. So, how I figured this out is based off of my current water consumption. There are some calculations that go into effect to figure out how much I need to use during peak week. And also, just for reference, peak week is just a term that
bodybuilders use in just to reference the week before a show. It's kind of where everything gets dialed in. It's where you peak, in a sense, where you bring out all of the hard work that you've been working on during your prep, and obviously the off season where all the work happens. And you pull water, so you drop some water between that lies between the skin surface and the muscle bellies, tighten everything up. It's kind of I don't want to say a painful process, but it's just not the most fun because there's a lot of water, which means a lot of peeing is involved. I'll increase my sodium and potassium citrate, this little supplement here, to help with my electrolyte balance, and also convince the body to then shed water as we approach the end of the week. So aiming for 3, but it's probably going to be closer to 2, just realistically speaking, between 2 and 3 gallons. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then there's going to be a significant drop on Thursday to 3/4 of a gallon, and then Friday 1/4 of a gallon, and then on Saturday, the actual day of the show, I won't drink any water except just to sip to take maybe my supplements or some Aleve just to kind of preventative for headache or cramping, things like that. So that is the water load details. I also manipulate carbohydrates as well. So my carbs Sunday through Wednesday are going to be, this actually isn't that bad, you guys. I've really did pat myself hard on the back here, a good job of working with my metabolism prior to cutting. So I've really been eating probably about 200 grams of carbs almost every night this entire prep. Not every night, but every day. So for me, this is going to feel low, but it's technically, some competitors are on like something absolutely ridiculous, like 40 grams of carbs or sometimes 0 carbs. So I'm going to be between 80 and 100 grams for this week. And then, I will do no added sodium, so I will cut some sodium on Thursday and Friday, and then I'm going to carb load, which is kind of like a party, which is kind of what I'm already eat prior to. So I'll go about 200, probably 300 grams actually on Thursday, and then cut down to 200 on Friday, just to not shock my system, my digestive system too much, because that could be all bad, not going to the bathroom. Nobody wants a bloated, constipated belly on stage. So, and with that, I also have some other tricks up my sleeve that I use on those 2 days. And then Saturday, no water till the contest. My carbs are still high, eating a lot of carbs throughout the day, and then low sodium. So that is the not so big rocket science behind peak week, at least my peak week that has worked.
And honestly, just to keep things interesting, with my water, as you can see, 2 gallons here. Lovely. I know. I've literally been living on the toilet. I will do some things like tea bags. I'll put tea, non-stimulant type tea. Also doing dandelion tea, which is a natural diuretic. So that's kind of helping this water just pass through my system. And I know sometimes women think like, drinking all that water makes me bloated and heavy and this and that, but it actually signals your body to shed water weight. So don't think that by drinking more water, you're gonna, be bloated and heavier. It actually helps decrease the bloating. For example, yesterday I had 2 gallons, probably 2.25 gallons of fluid between, I'm counting even like my coffee and things like that yesterday. I woke up this morning 2 pounds lighter. I went to bed last night feeling like my teeth were floating, and I woke up and I was 2 pounds lighter. It's the lightest I've been in the last probably 8 weeks. So it's all right. I'm about to hop in the shower. Just thinking of all these things that may be helpful for somebody who's considering going into prep or wants to know what's involved if they're going to contest prep. Pretty meticulous this last week. I picked at my face. I took this week sort of off-ish, so I'm not really working too much, mainly because I'm going to be tied to the bathroom, and I need to be off my feet just to help with swelling, and just try to like put myself in a bubble, get myself ready, mentally prepared. And also another thing is I start to take care of my grooming situation, because I kind of suck at that. I'm not like really big into girling. And taking care of stuff. As you can see, my nails are like severe. They look like old lady, like my hands are so wrinkly right now. Old lady nails, because I need to get my nails done. So I'll do that this week. And also skin preparation is very important because you are in basically a thong bikini and you want to make sure your shit is on point, meaning your hairs are shaved, you're waxed in the appropriate places. If you do that kind of thing, your hair's on point, all these things. So this week I start using this body scrub, which it's a Norvell, and it's an exfoliator, and it's pH balanced specifically for prepping your skin for spray tan. So for those of you that don't know, spray tan will run and smear and look like a blotchy, hellish mess if you do not prepare your skin properly. So this is important. I also will not lotion my body at all this week, except for my elbows, my knees, my knuckles, and things like that. My heels, those super dry areas, because the tan will like incredibly absorb to those spots. But I want my skin super dry and evenly sloughed, so that way it absorbs the tan impeccably. I also will use this stuff on my face, which is Amber's. It's by Norvell as well. But this is just so that way you don't want to go on stage looking like from here down like an Oompa Loompa and like from here up looking like Snow White, because that is not cute. And I see that a lot. So I use a darker foundation. This is actually my daughter's because she's much darker than I am. So a darker foundation for prep. I'll use a super obnoxiously red lipstick because you want your lips to pop. You don't want them to wash out with the lights. And I'll tan my face this week. And this stuff comes out looking green and awful, but as it sets in, it's all good. And I wax, and you want to make sure you're shaved and all that kind of stuff in plenty of time, so that way when you go get spray tanned there at the event, your pores are not like open and you don't have like razor burn and all this crazy shit. So I just like to make sure everything is smooth sailing before I get lacquered up in my Oompa Loompa tan. Stay tuned. I'm gonna wax on video for y'all. Why not? It's time to wax the stash. You know, I truly am grateful for being Portuguese, but sometimes, like these, I just wish I wasn't so hairy. So I wax on Monday because sometimes, since I'm doing this home wax stuff, I accidentally rip off some skin. No lies. And I'm sure you can imagine that not only does it feel awful, it looks awful. So I give myself that buffer of like 5 days to heal if I rip off skin. Ooh. Can you see that? That's a stash, people. The other thing I wanted to say, because I was in the shower and I started thinking, is that another reason why I take off from training clients, because it's not that my job is super rigorous. I mean, I'm lifting plates and lifting weights and stuff like that to get clients situated, but I don't wear deodorant this week very much, if at all, because there's a chemical in the tanning solution. This is a good for those of you that ever get spray tanned. That turns your armpits green, like legitimately Hulk green. I even have some pictures, if you look at my contest pictures from previous years, where I'm doing the whole classic like wave to the judges like thank you, and my armpit's green. So to save my clients the smell that emits from my very ethnic armpits, it's another reason why I don't train clients after Wednesday, because I start mad scrubbing the pits, getting any residual deodorant that lies beneath the surface, and then Friday, when I go spray tan, my armpits don't turn whole green. Super important. The other thing too is this week, because I'm going to wear my hair curly for the show. I did it the last show. It's just me. I feel more authentic with it curly. I did straight for many years during my other preps. I won't do my hair this week. I'll just let it kind of breathe from product for the week and just throw it in a bun. And also my scalp is really dry, generally speaking, but also this week because or during prep, because my fat consumption and my body fat levels are lower than they ever are. So naturally things like skin flakiness and dryness and scalp flakiness are at an all-time high. You guys like this? It's pretty sexy. So I like to really moisturize my scalp, get some oils in there, some coconut oil, and just kind of let it heal. So that way when I do my hair Friday, I'm not a flaky, gross mess. And yes, I'm waxing my goatee. And just for the record, I don't casually walk around in my waffle print robe at home. It's usually some janky ass t-shirt and some like super big and not cute pajama pants because it's comfortable. But I thought I'd be super fancy for y'all with my waffle print robe. Oh yeah, how's that? That's sexy. Does anyone else, or is it just me, like have a love-hate relationship with these mirrors? Like, it's bad. I could sit here and just pick and tweeze and pull apart my face. This is not feeling so hot today, friends. Yeah. So, I'm going to spare you the boring rest of this process because I got to get my Hitler stash right here. And I'll be back with more goodies.